Hello, Diet Rebel Scum and Diet Rebel Scum Curious. If you're a low carber, you're a Diet Rebel Scum. You've taken the food pyramid and you've turned it upside down. You have told Western medicine to go to hell, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So, physique. This is I'm gonna touch on a touchy subject with some people. I don't give a crap, but you know, there's YouTubers out there that the first one that I noticed did shirtless videos a lot was Thomas DeLauer. Now, I love Thomas DeLauer. When I went keto back in 2017, he was one of the YouTubers that I watched a lot of, because he promoted a low carb lifestyle and keto and all that, and had nice, pretty high production value. You know, he did the multiple camera angles and stuff. But one thing he started doing, and I don't know if he had always done this and I just wasn't really paying attention, but how could you miss it? You know, he's buff, man. He's like bodybuilder buff, like giant muscles. Obviously lifts weights. You know, looks like a big guy, right? Well, he started appearing, not throughout his whole videos shirtless, but like he was doing a lot of just B-roll while he's talking. He's standing like in his kitchen, you know, talking about stuff, doing the different camera angles, you know, kind of automatically or whatever. And then suddenly he's like, there's shots of him, you know, in the gym, just, you know, lifting weights and like all, you know, shirtless and buff and everything. And it's like, and it just didn't make sense. You know, I mean, to be throwing I mean, it's okay. It's something for you to look at, and it keeps like your audience watching, I guess. But it's almost like the buff shots and stuff were just didn't really fit what he was talking about all the time. So it kind of looked a little bit much, just a little much, you know. And I started noticing this, and I was like, he's like shirtless a lot. I mean, we know he's buff, you know, but boy, he's really showing it off a lot, you know, in these videos. And I'm a big comment reader. I love comments, good comments, bad comments, nasty comments. I don't care. I just love comments because I like to see what people are arguing about out there. That's what I do. I mean, I comment very little on things. I have to be pretty fired up to really, and not fired up angry, but you know, I got to be really feel passionate about something when I comment. Or if somebody addresses me personally, says, "Hey, what do you think about this?" You know, then if I got the time, I'll comment. And anyway, or reply. So another one. So Thomas DeLauer was, oh yeah, in the comments, got to finish that thought. In the comments, I remember reading some guy said, "Okay, we got it. You're buff. We can do without all the shirtless, you know, muscle shots, you know, whatever." And I was like, thank you for saying that, because I thought it was just a bit much. But still, Thomas DeLauer, I still love him. I don't know if he's one of the ones that's gone into the hey, maybe we need a little carbs. I think he might have been one of the ones. Now, the biggest one that's done that is Paul Saladino. Now, he was flat out, like, over the last couple years, I'm sure, because he's another one. I got his book. Was his The Carnivore Code, or I forgot which book it was, but I got the audio version a couple years ago and listened to it, and I enjoyed it. I like Dr. Paul Saladino, and now he's called, some YouTubers are calling him Fruit Saladino, because he went on the fruit train. He kind of abandoned the all you need is meat thing, and now because he started having problems. But back to physique. He's the one who started doing it. He was just strutting his stuff shirtless through grocery stores. Now, he doesn't live in the United States. He lives in some, I think, tropical area. So he's always in a bathing suit, you know, like the big trunks, you know, not like a Speedo, you know, like where it leaves nothing to the imagination. But, you know, a lot of his videos were shirtless, and he's built good, you know. He's in a real good, you know, he exercises and works out a lot and everything, and surfs, and so, you know, more power to him. But he's strutting his stuff like he's shopping for a wife. And that's what I kind of wonder about these guys that are like shirtless in every video and just, it's like, are they single and looking? Because I mean, hey, what a great way to advertise to try to get a wife is, hey, I'm a YouTuber with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and look how in shape I am, ladies. So I can't blame them, but anyway, for some of us, it's like, oh gosh, will you stop already? So here's my first one where I'm giving you a peek into my physique because I think it's important to kind of get it out there. Just so you know, I'm promoting a certain lifestyle. And when I say I'm promoting, I'm not saying you need to do this. I'm just showing you what I'm doing and what I think is maybe a healthier way to go. It's an experiment on me, and I think maybe some people might benefit by experimenting with it themselves. How's that? I'm not a doctor, and it's probably a good thing. Meaning I wouldn't be a good doctor, I would, but I mean, it's doctors are a bit, I think their hands are tied, and that's another subject. It's very touchy with people. Not being a doctor means I can freely give my opinion, and I'm not gonna, I'm not giving medical advice. So anyway, back to the subject at hand for this video, physique and showing it. Okay, so I am 153 pounds. Actually, I was 151.8 or so last night. I weigh myself every day naked before I get in the shower, morning or evening. It's a habit. I use it as a gauge of if I'm hydrated or not, because I hover around the exact same 1 or 2 pounds. I do not fluctuate much at all. So this is going to be a body shot since it's hot in my garage. It's summer. My garage is heating up. I'm sweating. That's why I got this shirt on, but open. I didn't want to be like completely shirtless because then it kind of looks like I'm naked. If you can't see I'm wearing pants, it looks like I'm naked. I mean, that's what I think. If I see somebody and they're walking in, I've seen nothing on, I'm like, are they naked? It's just where my mind goes. I don't know why. So I'm going to stand up here. And I'm going to show you, this is where I'm at now, at this stage. Now, it wasn't until I went completely carnivore that I actually, okay, so this is what, I'll go ahead and take this off. So, I wear a 32, first of all, I'm 5'10" with no shoes on. With my high stack running shoes, I'm probably damn near I'm maybe damn near 6 foot with some of these big ass shoes that they're making these days. Okay, but anyway, these are 32-inch waist pants, and with no belt, they almost fall off of me. So anyway, I'm 151.8 pounds as of last night, and I just ate a pound of ground beef just about 45 minutes ago. So anyway, this is my physique right now. I'll go ahead and turn around. These are my work pants, by the way, and when I say work, I mean mow the lawn, weld steel, paint. So I got paint stains and stuff on this. But anyway, like I say, I'm a real do-it-yourselfer. But anyway, this is my physique right now. I need to do a tape. I do have a seamstress tape to go around, and I think even around my belly button, around to the back, I think I'm still like 32 inches, even up here. Some guys cheat about that. They'll say, oh, I got a 32-inch waist, and they're talking about their hip bones and their pants. They're not talking about up here because they may have that big poochy gut. Yes, guys cheat on that kind of thing. So, anyway, okay. I just wanted to get that out there because I wished I had done something like that back when I had lifted weights. I told you about... I think I said in my kind of getting to know you video, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but I actually lifted weights my last year as a vegetarian. I had quit running because plantar fasciitis and that I had been battling for a long time. Been running through, wasn't going away. I'd take a break from running for a month and it still just didn't let up. It was bad. So I actually lifted weights for 1 year. And I had the girl that runs our gym at work, I just had her train me. I said, I just want to gain I want to get some muscles, look like I lift weights, and I'll do anything you say. Just tell me what to do, and I lifted weights like 5 days a week. Yeah, I was dedicated. Went into the gym at lunch every day that I could, and had a set time for her, and she trained me. And yeah, I gained 15 pounds, and the only supplement I did, well, I did protein powders, of course, all the time. Whey protein powders, and when I started lifting weights for that year, I was drinking the creatine powders that you mix with water. So I was drinking the creatine during my workouts. And man, I tell you what, I did gain some muscle, man. That 15 pounds on my skinny, at that time, 148 pounds. When I started, I was a 148 pound marathoner. I ran like my last marathon of that era, hobbling with plantar fasciitis. I forgot what my time was. I think it was like 3:44. No. That was before I went keto. That was a long time ago. I can't remember what it was. It was a 3 something. Yeah, probably in the 3:30 to 3:40 range, 3 hour 40 minute range. Anyway, I weighed 148 pounds then, and then I got up to 163, I think is what I maxed out at. And I looked like a different person. I mean, I actually had shoulders and biceps and triceps. I mean, that you could really see. Like when I wore a nicely fitting t-shirt, you know, it was very noticeable that I was lifting weights. But I have very, very few pictures. And in fact, I don't even know if I could find one now. Yeah, it's not this phone that I'm using that I've had for, 6-7 years now. 2018. Geez, this phone's old. Still going strong though. iPhone 8. They did a good job on that one. Where's my tea? I misplaced my tea. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I have no before. I don't have hardly any before and afters. But there's one photo on Facebook that I posted as kind of like a competition with a girl. I still ran like a half marathon when I was still. Oh, that was after I went keto actually. So then I quit after that year and I went keto. And when I went keto, I slowly started to lose the muscle mass. Now, I still had the muscle, there's still a little bit left over. And I think that's what my abs and a little bit of my pecs are, if I look like I've got muscles, I'm still thin. I mean, I'm 153, but I don't know how it translates on camera in this lighting. I actually have natural daylight here, but I still have a little bit of it. But a lot of that was retaining water, I think. A lot of that, because when I went keto, I lost that 15 pounds. I got back down to the low 150s, not quite 148. I don't think I ever got back down to 148 while I've been low carb. But I still had a little bit of the muscles that I did not have when I was just a vegetarian marathoner. So I think I was kind of like gained some muscle, but gained a lot of water retention too to make those muscles fill out and look bigger while I was a vegetarian. But anyway, so I have not lifted weights in any kind of dedicated fashion for since I went keto. I would go in maybe for a few weeks at a time and lift some weights, and then I would not lift weights for weeks at a time. I mean, it was just something to do. I go into the weights. So anyway, last week I lifted weights twice. I did some dumbbell flat benches and bent over rows. So push and then pull, and I did a little bit of military press, but I did like 2 of those workouts each. That's about it. But before that, I've just been training for marathons. I've been running quite a bit for a year. So whatever muscle I see, that's another thing about one thing that they used to say about keto is, oh, you'll lose muscle. And it's like, no, when you go keto, as long as you're getting sufficient protein, you're not going to burn muscle away for no reason. Your body's going to burn the fat before it burns lean muscle tissue. There might be a little, I don't know. There could be a little bit, but it's predominantly, if you've got fat to burn, why the hell would your body burn muscle tissue that's actually useful? Now, that's what Dr. Jason Fung, if you're familiar with him, love Dr. Jason Fung. He was the one, he really harped on that a lot back when I first went keto. He talked about the theory about, low carb dieting making you lose muscle. He was like, nature's not that stupid, or the human body's not that stupid. It's like, why would it go after lean muscle mass? Why would it go after muscle mass, and muscles actually do work, and when you've got fat to burn? It's like, that would be stupid. And it's like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. And it's not what happened to me. I mean, I think I lost a lot of water weight in the initial beginning, but I didn't lose any strength, even though I didn't lift weights for a while. I shrunk down. My arms got smaller. But now, as far as my ab section here was not quite as flat when I was on keto. I always had, I never had a six-pack back then, and but once I just quit buying the leafy greens. I stopped eating the salads, and never touched fruit. Even when I went keto, fruit's just off the menu on everything. So, but I just quit eating all the imitation keto breads, and where we tried to make bread out of egg and almond flour. I quit doing all that stuff, and it ended up carnivore after a while. That's when I got complimented one day on having a lady referred to my six-pack when I was out running. Just a random lady was in a vehicle at an intersection. I was doing speed work back on this hill. I was running up this hill and down this hill during my lunch break at work, and it was a hot summer day, and this was last summer. And nice lady was waiting at the intersection. It was back kind of in an industrial area. She was in a work van, like a big van that would have like the ladders hanging on the side. It was something like that. I don't know if it was like an electrical thing or what. Can't remember what the company was or whatever. But anyway, as I came up, I got to the end of an interval, and I stopped and looked at my watch, and then I was walking, and I was getting close to her, and I was kind of like, why is she not taking off? There's no cars coming. She can go now. And she said, hey, you're doing, she said, you're doing, no, she said, I think she said, you're looking really good. And I thought she was talking about my tan, because I don't wear sunblock. I don't wear sunglasses anymore. I just get out and get the full vitamin D effect, and I was shirtless. When I am full sun, I go and I run shirtless. So I can't be shirtless at work, so I hide my running top in a tree, and then I go do my run, and then I come back by that tree, get my running top, and when I get back to work on the campus there, I put my shirt back on. So, which it's not sweaty. So I always wonder if they go, did he really run? His shirt's not sweaty. But anyway, the lady said, you're looking real good. And I said, oh, I said, thank you. I've been working on this tan all summer, And she said, no, I'm talking about your abs and stuff. And I was like, oh. Oh my God. Do I actually have abs that show? And that's when I first became real conscious of it. Now, I knew my stomach was getting flatter because my pants, fit looser. It's like I have to wear a belt, or else, I can't go out in public because my underwear will start. So, they'll kind of, I can actually go probably 30-inch waist pants if I want to now. And but anyway, she made me aware that it's like, oh my God, do I actually have a six-pack showing now? And at least while I'm running, when I'm tensing all the muscles there. So I was like, okay, that's great, and I have to attribute that to actually going carnivore, and not eating any plant foods. And when I say not any, I mean there's the occasional cheat, or I'm at a restaurant and something came with fries, so I don't like stuff getting thrown away, so I may eat like a quarter of them or a third of them, you know, and offer them to whoever else I'm with, you know, that kind of. There's my tea. Oh man, I'm out of coffee today, so I at least have to have the tea. I'm gonna quit that here soon. Did I tell you about that? No. Okay, so that's probably enough rambling about Physique for today. So I just wanted to have it on video, so there's a timestamp on it, on what did I look like at 53 years old, doing the diet that I'm doing right now at this day and time, because I've never really documented that, you know? So, I mean, some official measurements would be nice, you know? Maybe that'll come in another video, but this is my Paul Saladino edition of Diet Rebel Scum. So this is my shirtless video. You probably see me in tank tops in other videos, so I do videos out running or whatever. All right, that's it. That's it. And I think, actually, I need to go ahead and do my Accountability Buddy check-in along with this. So I have done really well. Still no sugar cheats, except for, this is one. Now, this is a Paul Saladino kind of cheat. Honey. I do have some hippie organic local honey in glass that I put in occasionally. I don't do it every time. But you know, I told you about my lattes I make at home, my hippie organic whole milk. So I'll make a latte, and on some evenings I will put a few teaspoons of the honey in, and that is still, I can say, well, it's carnivore because it's an animal product, but you know, really I'm just robbing the bees. Is it really an animal product? You know, that's what people fight about. You know, is they want to justify their sugar addiction. So they say, well, it's honey. Honey's an animal product. Yeah, but it's still just freaking straight sugar. I am not claiming, I don't personally believe that you need honey to survive. I just put it in my lattes for poops and giggles, you know, and it's a nice, sweet indulgence. And I'm still, since I've done this, since I've started this channel, I have not done one ice cream binge. If I had not started this channel, I would have done one of my ice cream binges. I think I probably told you about those ice cream binges. If I didn't, I'll explain them again. I'm going to repeat stuff because I won't be able to remember what I talked about when. So, yeah, a little bit of honey. I've done it. That's my egregious sugar thing over this past week. I need to do the week review. If I've got time tonight, if I get my tire changed and all my camping stuff arranged and how I'm going to put it on the motorcycle, I got to get that done. So if I'm not too tired tonight, I'll do an official check-in or week review video like I did last week. And but it's been good. Y'all have been keeping me in line. All right, let's make this another good low-carb day.